the Ten Commandments episode. There's two different angels. You know, there's a dark angels and there's a light angels. It's pretty scary. Abraham and Isaac. Did you like that episode?
Yes.
Here's the DVD stash of all the episodes we've worked on to date. It's a coelacanth. So that's a giant fish, but we actually base it off of a prehistoric fish that they recently found alive in Indonesia. Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
I want to introduce you to Molly Jean.
Hi, Molly Jean.
Jeff is our animation supervisor. He worked on some films prior to coming here. He worked on Shrek, Penguins of Madagascar, and Turbo. So he's worked on some really cool films. So Molly Jean's here to learn about animation, the process of what we do. And so I've already taken her to Tim, and he has showed up the whole process of layout. And now we want to take it to the next step of animation.
All right, so let me tell you what we do here. So basically my job is to examine all the shots that come in for Superbook and kind of judge the motion and the emotion that happens for all the characters that are in each shot. So in this sequence here, which is the birds coming to drop off food for Elijah.
The bird is back! And he brought friends!
Okay, so in this sequence of shots, we were trying to accomplish three things. One was comedy from Gizmo. Gizmo's always the kind of the little kid, the eager puppy. He's always he's always an eager beaver. So he's kind of klutzy too. So by having him overreact and kind of trip, he provides somewhat of a comic foil, some comic relief to Elijah and the kids. And we're also trying to accomplish a sense of chaos. So by having all these birds flying in, it provides a nice action set piece for us. Now the third thing we're trying to accomplish is the gratitude. That's a very important story point for the episode that God always provides. So here, God has provided the ravens who are now dropping the food for Elijah. So now it's important for us to show the thankfulness and the gratitude on Elijah's face. So here is an example of what Elijah looked like at the beginning of the stages here. It was very important to get that kind of that gratitude from Elijah. And as you can see here, it's a little robotic. It's a little mechanical.
They're delivering bread and meat to Elijah.
You see how he's kind of looking at it kind of blankly, but there's no bow, there's no sense of, there's no grace to his movement. So we kind of we performed that for them. We used this camera. We actually stood against the wall and performed a bow with closing of the eyes, made sure that kind of gratitude was coming across to the animators. And with that footage, they were able to add the body, add the slower speed, and get this nice sense of graceful gratitude of a bow coming from Elijah.
Thank you.
Right there. And the shoulders are moving to the little bit of nuance there. And in the shoulders, the speed, and everything's kind of meshing together.
Chloe Creations and Kawaii Glitter Winter wonders what software you use to animate.
We use a program called Maya, which is a kind of a universally used 3D software that computer animators use. In the old days, they used to hand draw everything, but everything is done in 3 dimensions in the computer. And so what they do in Maya is they build each character 3-dimensionally. And as you can see here, we even have their characters, the clothes are transparent. The reason why we have that is because we want to see the musculature under each of the clothing and make sure that the muscles are acting properly. Sometimes we'll have distortions or folds or any other sort of pinching that might look a little weird. So we have to kind of correct that and make sure that everything is working properly for each of the characters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're all okay. Hey, Al.
Hey,
How's it
John.
going? Want to introduce you to Molly Jean?
Hi, Molly Jean. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Al, he's the shot finalist. So what he does, as the episode is about to finish, he reviews every single frame of the show. And for a 22-minute show, there's 43,000 frames. So he's going to review everything. In his background, where he came from Disney. So he had worked on Mulan, he worked on Lilo and Stitch, Lion King, and all those films. So he's taken that expertise, brought it here, and he's going to show you kind of what he does.
All right, so one of the first things that we do in here is we look at the animatic. And the animatic tells us how the cuts are going to be, how the director has envisioned this shot, the length of the shot. If there's anything, what we have sometimes we have things called crossfades, so you can see how the shot is fading out and fading back in. Then we actually look at it. We see it in full color now. Any questions?
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this, but I've always been wondering, when you do the voiceover part, do they look at the screen after the finished product is done? Do they like mimic the mouth movements, or you get the audio first and then start with that?
We get the audio first, and then sometimes it's done in a scratch. So what that means is you'll have temporary actors doing the voices, and then the main actors will come in and they will try to mimic that timing, because a lot of times the animation is done to the scratch because the final hasn't been done yet.
Hey, Paul. Got a second?
Hi, John. Hi.
Hey, I want to introduce you to Molly Jean.
Hi, Molly Jean. How are you? Nice to meet you.
We've been showing her the whole process of animation, so she's met with all the different departments, and I think she has a question to ask you.
Great.
Cotton Candy wants to know, how long does it take to make an episode?
Well, we overlap the episodes, so we're doing multiple episodes at any given time, but from script to finished final product probably takes about a year to a year and 3 months. But we're doing multiple at a time.
Because I know that if you do a stop motion, it takes about a day to make a Snapchat video length, which
Yeah.
is...
Well, then that's very quick.
Dangerous
We should maybe
products.
change our production pipeline, then we could...
Where's the animation actually done?
Well, the animation is done at a studio in South Korea called Tuion. They have a staff of probably about 80 to 100 people that work on it, animators, layout artists, matte painters, and that's where it's produced. Do you have any other questions?
No, but thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's our episode, and if you have more questions, send them in. His word is forever alive.